As the train nears the coast, passengers are distracted by the beautiful views and fail to notice a thief stealing from their bags and pockets. Loren and Yu catch the thief, but Jang realizes her bag with important documents is missing. The thief doesn't have it. Suddenly, the train starts shaking and, against the driver's will, veers onto another track. The driver, Faye, tries to stop the train, but it enters a tunnel monitored by a mysterious drone. The train stops at an abandoned station, and the passengers disembark confused about where they are. They find no cell service and cannot call for help. Exploring the area, they discover an abandoned city. The train chief handcuffs the thief to a metal door and joins the others. They find an old supermarket where Loren notices receipts dated 20 years ago. An AI voice announces that 109 life forms have arrived in the city for an experiment and that bats will be released at night. Evening falls and Faye's son disobeys her, runs away and gets lost in the city. Some passengers form search parties. Loren finds bodies with their throats cut and then bats attack. People in the store see bats hitting the windows. The first wounded rush inside and the train chief locks the doors while others barricade the windows. Loren's group hides in a post office. Despite help from a doctor, those bitten by bats in the store die. The post office group realizes they can't hold the doors and escapes through a back exit. One girl tries to open the doors to let others in, but a businessman stops her to protect everyone. An elderly man volunteers to open the door once everyone is safe in the warehouse. He lets them in, but then Loren discovers Jang running towards the station. Loren and Yu go to the back exit where Jang is freeing the thief, asking for her documents. Loren leaves Yu at the door to let him back in. The thief leads Jang to the train, but they are attacked by bats and run back to the store with Loren. Faye's son, meanwhile, sees a lit lighthouse and heads towards it. Yu opens the back door for Loren, Jang, and the thief to escape. The businessman sternly warns that letting in bats will kill everyone. They also don't let Faye go search for her son, fearing for their safety. In the morning, the bats have flown away and Faye rushes to the door. Others hesitate to let her go, worried about who will drive the train. Faye offers the keys to someone else, revealing that Shin can also drive the train. A dispute arises over who should get the keys, and the businessman reminds them of the brave old man who opened the doors for everyone. He is clearly trustworthy, so the keys to the train should be given to him while the others search for the child. The man turns out to be a teacher, and everyone agrees that he is a good person who won't abandon them. The businessman orders everyone to return by 4 o'clock, and they set out to search. Jang surprises Loren with her knowledge of the area, even though she initially said she had never been there. In the store, the businessman announces it's time to head to the train. Jang asks Faye to join them, but she refuses. The passengers board the train, and the businessman deceitfully forces the teacher to give up the keys early. Shin starts the engine, but the train immediately stops because the path is blocked by debris. Everyone returns to the store and barricades the windows and doors, but the back door opens on its own, letting bats inside. People fight back, but many are bitten. Loren's group helps everyone break down the doors and escape, only to find that the bats have suddenly disappeared outside. A dispute breaks out, with Yu accusing the train chief of trying to leave without them. The businessman urges everyone to stop arguing and focus on survival. Jang mentions a nearby hotel, surprising Loren again with her knowledge of the area. They head to the hotel, reinforcing the windows and doors. Shin restores the electricity, and the passengers disperse to the rooms. Later, Faye hears a whistle and tries to go outside, believing her son is there. Jang and Loren accompany her and find the child in the store, but then bats attack Faye. Jang manages to take the boy away, but his mother is bitten, so he tells them that at night he saw how lanterns reacted to his whistle and hid in the lighthouse when the bats arrived. The businessman examines a map and discovers that they are on an island. They wonder how this happened. In the morning, he informs everyone about the map and suggests splitting up to explore the surroundings. However, Loren suggests they bury the dead first. The group decides instead to pile the bodies on the first floor to take home later. So he cries over his mother's body, not noticing her fingers twitching. Later, people spread out across the island. Jang also has a map but leaves alone, unaware that Loren is following her. Meanwhile, the businessman's group finds a port, but there are no boats or ships. Jang recalls following her mother down this road as a child until a guard stopped her. Now she descends into a basement. At the pier, the train chief falls into the water and his assistant Shin saves him. Instead of thanking him, the chief starts a fight, but Shin unexpectedly overpowers him. In the basement, Jang meets Loren, who accuses her of murdering a professor, as he saw her on the scientist's home surveillance video. Jang doesn't deny it, but claims she didn't enter the apartment because she received a message from the professor. She shows the SMS as proof. The passengers realize there's no way off the island. Suddenly, screams are heard as two passengers fall and are badly injured. The doctor orders them to be taken to the hotel to set up an operating room but lacks the necessary instruments. Jang mentions a nearby hospital, so Loren suggests going there to find what they need. After returning, the doctor performs a successful operation. The next morning, Loren demands Jang hand over the city map. When she refuses, he takes her bag and finds medicine inside. Jang faints and the doctor discovers she has a rare hereditary disease that requires a medication. Loren feels guilty but finds a note in the bag offering Jang answers about her mother's disappearance if she takes this train. Everyone gathers in the hall and the businessman suggests searching the island again for food. Jang tells Loren she received a letter with a photo of her mother, a map, and a train ticket. She remembers her mother working here but doesn't know what she did. Loren is more interested in who sent the letter. People disperse around the island to look for provisions. The teacher joins the businessman's group and finds a box of crackers in a store. The businessman suggests hiding the crackers, and when the teacher refuses, Shin hits him. The businessman orders the old man to be tied up and the crackers to be hidden. He then lies to everyone at the hotel, saying the teacher left on his own. Later, Loren discovers that Heil, the businessman's nephew, gave a package of crackers to a girl he likes. Loren tracks down where the crackers came from and finds the tied-up teacher in the store. Loren and Yu bring the old man back to the hotel, tie up the businessman and his accomplices, and lock them in the store. In the morning, the chief finds the warehouse doors broken and the crackers gone. Loren and Yu follow tracks and catch an unfamiliar girl named Nana who wasn't on the train. She claims she fell off a boat and swam to the island, where she has been for 70 days. She is very hungry and has a radio. When turned on, the radio broadcasts a message that thousands of rescuers are searching for the train using helicopters, boats, and drones, but without success. Nana is accepted into the community. Meanwhile, one of the women sneaks into the store to bring food and water to the prisoners but sees several resurrected people on her way back. Terrified, she returns to the store. At the hotel, the doctor's wife is attacked and bitten by a zombie. The businessman and his accomplices free themselves and realize the zombies are passengers bitten by bats. A zombie attack occurs at the hotel, causing panic. The businessman's group escapes through the back door. Loren tries to save people at the hotel, but zombies are everywhere. Loren and the chief lock the gates to cut off the zombies from the passengers and barricade themselves in a large hall. Several infected people get in and are caught and tied up. Among the survivors, Jang and the child are missing. Loren and Yu go to look for them and arrive just in time to save them. The businessman's group fights off a crowd of zombies at the former police building and finds weapons in police cars nearby. They also find barrels of gasoline. At the hotel, Loren distracts the zombies, ordering Yu to take the saved people to safety while he faces an unequal battle. The doctor, examining his wife's pupils, notices a strange reaction and suggests it is some kind of virus affecting the human nervous system. At this time, the businessman's group returns to the hotel and rescues Loren by shooting the zombies. The businessman apologizes to the passengers and offers his help, claiming he can now protect them. Meanwhile, the doctor's wife begins to turn into a zombie. Later, the train chief starts distributing food, but he does so based on a person's usefulness. Since the teacher cannot work, he gets a reduced portion, causing outrage among the passengers. The chief silences them by showing a gun. The businessman then reveals a boat he found and gathers men in his room who have some knowledge of technology, promising to take them off the island if they repair the boat. In the evening, the train chief secretly eats hidden food but is attacked by a bat that entered the warehouse. The bat then flies around, scaring the hotel residents until Yu shoots it and Shin drives the former chief out into the street. Loren dissects the bat and finds a chip inside it. Jang recalls an experiment where a bat's brain was stimulated with electricity to make it a fierce predator. They also find poison inside the bat that causes rabies and realize someone is controlling the bat via the chip, meaning this person is on the island. Zombies return to the hotel. The infected doctor's wife senses this and the child starts hearing ultrasound. The businessman and his group begin shooting, but Loren forbids killing the infected as they might be cured. The infected are caught and tied up. Jang remembers that the ultrasound the child hears might be used to control the infected people. Z frees his mother from the ropes and she attacks him. Loren arrives just in time and rescues the boy but gets bitten by Faye. Loren asks Jang to tie him up and is taken to the lighthouse. An eye report for that day states that the main goal of the infection introduction is to divide and clash people to reveal their true nature, proving that feelings are more important to people than safety when Jang followed the infected Loren. At night, the businessman gives a gun to Yu and talks about the boat, offering him a spot on his team. In the morning, the businessman asks Yu to take him to Loren and hands him a bag with a large sum of money. Yu suggests that Loren might be at the lighthouse that Jang often mentioned, and they head there with the businessman's team. The group arrives at the lighthouse and Shin points a gun at Loren despite Jang's protests. Yu intervenes, asking to be left alone with his friend. The men leave, taking Jang with them. After some time, Jang sees Loren fall off the cliff and goes to look for his body. The businessman tells the others about Loren's supposed death. When Jang returns, she passes by with disdain. Later, Yu comes to her and admits that he and Loren had promised each other to kill whoever gets infected. Jang reminds him that the disease can be cured. Yu leaves and recalls how he betrayed Loren by passing his investigation data to a criminal. Meanwhile, the doctor finds an ultrasound photo of a baby among his wife's things and realizes she is pregnant. In the morning, people listen to news about the search. They learn that the tunnel is blocked by a landslide, and clearing it will take a long time. Upon hearing this, the businessman orders the boat to be repaired faster. Jang remembers that the teacher taught physics and tells him about the chip in the bat, asking him to build an ultrasound transmitter using the ultrasound machine she found. Meanwhile, the thief goes down to the basement and unexpectedly hears Nana talking to someone. On the same day, the doctor's wife escapes from the hotel. Jang involves Yu and the thief in creating a trap for the bats. The businessman finds a surveillance camera in his closet, and later others find cameras in their rooms as well. In the morning, people bring the cameras to the common hall and notice that the manufacturing dates on the devices are recent. Meanwhile, the doctor finds his wife in the city, but she attacks him along with other zombies. He flees to the hotel and tells the businessman about the zombies' location, recalling seeing Loren there. After this conversation, Yu goes to Jang and gives her the police investigation records on her professor. Jang believes it's impossible to kill using artificial intelligence, but she manages to access the known observer server. However, without a general connection, she cannot send a distress signal. In the morning, people see the businessman's armed squad going to exterminate the zombies. Hearing that Loren is alive, Jang runs after the group. The story continues from this point on the screen. If you enjoyed the recap, make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell icon.